From countries known for throwing people in prison for no reason to others responsible for an absolutely extreme amount of pollution and corruption. Today on Across the Globe, we're going to be exploring the most hated countries in the world. Number 7. Turkey. Turkey has long been an idyllic vacation spot for keen travelers. The country is both beautiful and diverse, providing tourists with an unforgettable experience. The culture of Turkey is incredibly immersive and provides a unique experience for its visitors. It is home to a variety of different religions and cultures that can be experienced through the local cuisine, music, and art. In addition to the culture, Turkey also boasts a hot climate with sun-soaked beaches and crystal-clear waters, making it an ideal holiday destination. In fact, in 2023, Trading Economics reported that the number of foreigners visiting Turkey increased 5.7% year-on-year to 6.7 million by August 2023, following a 7.3% rise in July. While it can be a perfect place for a vacation, it is not always the greatest place to live. In fact, Turkey has had a long-standing reputation as one of the most hated countries on the planet. Through data compiled by the Reputation Institute, Medium placed Turkey at number 10 on their 15 most hated countries in the world list. Their main reason for this placement was Turkey's reputation for human rights violations. Turkey has had a long history of human rights violations that have caused friction with other countries and damaged the country's reputation. Turkey has been criticized for its outdated beliefs and views on the rights of its citizens, especially in its treatment of minorities such as Kurds, people of different religions, women, and other vulnerable groups. Although we mentioned earlier that Turkey has become a hotspot for travel, there are many areas that you should completely avoid altogether. In February 2023, The Broke Backpacker reported that there are many no-go areas around the southern borders with Iraq and Syria, advising to stay away from Sirnak and the Hakkari province in particular, stating that these regions have a volatile security environment and higher than average terrorist attack threats. To add to that, in the country's most tourist-heavy areas, crime is very prevalent. Pickpocketing and muggings are extremely rife, another key factor in Turkey's poor reputation. In fact, Gov.uk reported that the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, or FCDO, advises against all travel to parts of Turkey. They state that there is a high threat of terrorist attack globally affecting UK interests and British nationals, including from groups and individuals who view the UK and British nationals as targets. Number 6. Iran. Iran, formerly known as Persia, is a country with a tumultuous history. It has a population of 89,350,852 people. It has long been considered one of the most hated countries in the world due to its government's repressive policies and its involvement in various conflicts in the Middle East. Over the course of its history, Iran has been invaded, attacked, and occupied by many different powers, including the British and Russian empires. The 1979 Iranian Revolution saw the overthrow of the monarch and the establishment of an Islamic republic that has been largely hostile to the U.S. and other Western nations. This has resulted in a number of sanctions from the international community and further strained diplomatic relations. In 2023, Iran came in at number 7 on Insider Monkey's top 30 most hated countries in the world list. A year prior to this, Medium ranked Iran as the second most hated country in the world. Their main reason for this ranking was due to how much concern Iran's nuclear program has caused worldwide. They also noted that the country's instability makes it one of the most hated countries in the world. Furthermore, leaders from all across the world are concerned about Iran's actions, which range from ballistic missile tests to the backing and support of violent militia groups in the Middle East. As noted by Vox, Iran has made it a strategy to undermine America's allies by aiding its adversaries. On top of this, Human Rights Watch have expressed some major concerns about the country's lack of respect for civil and political rights and the administration's choice to punish many crimes with death. They reported that Iran has seen an alarming surge in executions. Number 5. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has a staggering population of 37,091,273 people. It is a country with a long and complex history stretching back thousands of years. It is also home to the birthplace of Islam, as well as the holiest sites of the religion. While the country has experienced much economic development in recent decades, it has long struggled with human rights issues. The government of Saudi Arabia has been criticized for its treatment of women, religious minorities, and political dissidents. In fact, in 2023, Medium listed Saudi Arabia at number 6 on their 15 most hated countries in the world list. A key reason for this ranking was the country's secular view towards women. Skip forward to 2023, and Insider Monkey listed Saudi Arabia at number 13 on their top 30 most hated countries in the world list. They stated that Saudi Arabia frequently violates human rights, and according to Amnesty.org, the government singled out individuals in 2022 for exercising their freedom to free speech and association in a peaceful manner. People were found guilty by the Specialized Criminal Court after flagrantly biased trials. They were then handed lengthy prison terms for engaging in peaceful expression, association, or creating community organizations. Furthermore, World Population Review listed Saudi Arabia as one of the most hated countries in 2023, stating that the country is ruled by an authoritarian, dictatorial government whose policies are based upon a strict, violent, and misogynistic interpretation of Muslim doctrine. They also added that the human rights, especially female rights, are particularly repressed in Saudi Arabia. It is also worth mentioning that the United States and Saudi Arabia have had a tense relationship in recent years, due in part to the kingdom's efforts to expand its regional influence and the U.S.'s commitment to human rights. Saudi Arabia has been accused of using its wealth to fund extremist groups and has been criticized for its dismal record on human rights, including the imprisonment of dissidents and the use of torture. In response, the U.S. has taken a hard line with the kingdom, publicly condemning its actions. To that, Travel State issued a Level 3 travel advisory for Saudi Arabia, meaning they advised to reconsider any travel to the country due to the threat of missile and drone attacks on civilian facilities. Number 4. Russia. In the international community, though it remains an important economic and political power. It comes as no surprise that in 2023, Insider Monkey listed Russia at number 3 on their top 30 most hated countries in the world list. On top of this, a year prior, Medium listed Russia as the 6th most hated country in the world. Both websites largely accredited their rankings to the ongoing conflict, with Medium boldly summarizing that almost everyone in the world has an unfavorable opinion of Russia. Regardless of your opinion on this, the fact stands that a number of people feel this way. In addition, Russia has come under fire for its treatment of minorities and other abuses of human rights. Number 3. Pakistan. Pakistan is a country with a rich history that dates back thousands of years, with various empires and dynasties having ruled the region over the centuries. However, it has also been marred by a controversial history of violence and human rights violations, making it one of the most hated countries in the world. Despite the country having made some progress in improving its human rights record in recent years, it still has a long way to go in order to be viewed in a more positive light by the international community. In 2022, Medium listed Pakistan at number 3 on their 15 most hated countries in the world list. Their key reason for this is the country's violent reputation and growing issues with human rights violations. They noted that Human Rights Watch found that the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and other affiliates frequently carry out bombings in Pakistan that target courts and mosques and result in fatalities of many civilians. Furthermore, Human rights breaches are not the responsibility of law enforcement or security forces, and executions are carried out by secret court systems. Fast forward to 2023, and Pakistan's reputation has not improved. Insider Monkey ranked Pakistan at number 6 on their top 30 most hated countries in the world list. They stated that activists and members of minority communities believe that Pakistan's culture of impunity and the inaction of the government are fostering an increase in hate crimes and blasphemy accusations. On top of this, in 2023, World Population Review stated that one of the reasons Pakistan is considered a much-hated country is due to the fact that it is one of the few Middle Eastern countries to have access to nuclear weapons. This, in turn, strikes fear into other nations and damages the country's reputation even further. Number 2. The United States of America. To most people, the United States is regarded as the land of opportunity, a nation where you can achieve anything you put your mind to. However, to many other countries, the United States is often looked upon unfavorably. In 2023, Insider Monkey ranked the United States second on their top 30 most hated countries in the world list. A year prior to this, Gazette Review listed the United States third on their top 10 most hated countries in the world list. There are a number of reasons for America's inclusion on both of these rankings, which may surprise some Americans. For starters, the United States has been said to frequently overreact to foreign situations, usually in ways that are advantageous to the nation. Additionally, the American government routinely deploys troops to countries like Iraq, Afghanistan, and Panama for reasons that are frequently criticized by those outside of the United States. To make matters worse, the nation is renowned for using its political might as leverage. To those in other nations, this sometimes resembles bullying or oppression. Moreover, the U.S.'s military presence in many parts of the world has resulted in numerous casualties, further fueling the animosity. Finally, the U.S.'s foreign policy has often been seen as hypocritical, which has sparked further hatred towards the country. In 2023, Travel A Lot listed 31 countries that hate Americans. These included the likes of Greece, Egypt, Germany, Iran, and Japan. They stated that much of this deep hatred and distrust for America comes from American ideals, politicians, habits, attitudes, and a plethora of other topics. Number 1. China. China is a country that is highly regarded for its incredible advances in computer intelligence and entrepreneurship. However, it is also one of the most feared countries in the world due to its sheer size and impressive arsenal of weapons. In fact, according to Arms Control Center, the Department of Defense estimates that China has around 300 nuclear-capable land-based missiles, which could launch as many as 400 warheads. It is these kinds of stats that strike fear in the hearts of other nations, which only leads to a great deal of animosity towards China from other countries, who are afraid of the potential for China to become a superpower. In 2023, China's reputation hasn't really improved. In fact, Insider Monkey ranked China at number 1 on their top 30 most hated countries in the world list. They noted that China is not just the most despised nation in Asia, but also easily leads their list of the 30 most hated nations in the entire world. From a survey of American adults performed in February 2021 by the Pew Research Center, it was found that the percentage of Americans who had negative perceptions of China rose significantly from 46% in 2018 to 67% in 2021. Furthermore, in 2023, World Population Review noted that China may be the most hated country in the world due to its intense ruling by an authoritative regime, one that is arguably even more oppressive and controlling than Russia. They also stated that the revulsion for China's government curtails from an extensive range of causes, including frequent reports of corruption and forced labor, prevalence as the world's largest polluter and emitter of the greenhouse gas CO2, a heavily censored internet, and the routine suppression of human rights. Lastly, in 2022, Medium ranked China as the 9th most hated country in the world. They summarized their main reason for this is that people do not see China as an ethical country. They also stated that many Chinese citizens desire more freedom. However, the Chinese Communist Party is adamant that it will not change its authoritarian stance. It is also worth noting that many Chinese citizens are being subject to a brutal work culture called 996. The pattern requires employees to work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week, leaving only one day off for rest and leisure. This leaves very little time for employees to take care of their own needs, such as spending time with family or pursuing other interests. Critics of the pattern have argued that the extreme hours leave employees feeling exhausted and unable to perform their best work. Furthermore, the lack of time off can lead to increased stress and burnout, which can have detrimental effect on their mental and physical health. What about the most racist countries in the world?